And welcome back to the Advent series, and today is December 12th. I used to believe that the Catholic and Orthodox churches were the only ones to have a liturgy. You know, a pattern of worship that is ornate and focused on the mystery of the Eucharist. I'd look at those Protestant churches near my home parish back in the day and shake my head. Mom always said they didn't believe in the same things as us, so there was no point in going there. And for that time, I was as happy as a clam in my own little bubble. As I got older, I began to learn more about other Christian traditions. Sure, their systematic theology was different, but the base was similar to ours. And then, when I discovered that you could watch live streams of church services, I grabbed hold of it. I remember going past these churches as a kid, their little brick edifices gleaming in the sunlight on a warm spring day, wondering what happened behind those walls. Ascension Lutheran Church on Moorhead Street caught my interest because it was such a small church. I mean, whenever Mom took me to the doctors, we'd drive past and I'd see that big white cross emblazoned on the brick wall, and I just thought, what was happening behind those walls? I got my answer when I began watching those live streams. And frankly, I was struck at just how similar it was to the Mass I knew as a kid. I mean, sure, some of the wording was different, but I saw something so familiar. So that's what's been going on behind that brick wall, I said to myself. I began checking out live streams of other churches and saw the similarities in them as well. And it made me realize that the liturgy wasn't just exclusive to Rome and Constantinople. I had long thought that the Protestants chucked them aside in the Reformation as they saw it as popery jargon, but it was rather fascinating to see them, especially the Anglicans and Lutherans, treat the liturgy with so much reverence and respect. I mean, this wasn't the act of a group of swine chewing up pearls. They actually understood and carried out the liturgical tradition with the same vigor as any Catholic priest on a Sunday morning. But that was a head-scratcher for me. How was it that these Protestant churches could have liturgy? If they resolved to split from us and keep as far away as they could, I mean, why would they even bother? I mean, they'd gone off to do their own thing, developing their own system of thinking and doing things. I mean, why keep the liturgy? Well, it was a pattern that stuck around for thousands of years. And what struck me was that what they were doing was independent of the Catholic and Orthodox sphere. I mean, sure, we can say they're doing it wrong, or they're not following the right formula, or they're invalid. But there's something beautiful still in their liturgy. I mean, with the Anglicans in particular, they marry music with the Eucharist so well it makes me envious sometimes. I mean, if they are imposters, they had me fooled. So it brings me to the next point. For a while, I believed that in order to truly have liturgy in its fullest, one had to become either Catholic or Orthodox. You could never truly appreciate something so ancient and wonderful without being communed with others who've kept the traditions. But I remember watching an episode of Anglican Unscripted a few months back, and I remember Kevin saying that it was possible to be liturgical and Protestant, and that someday there would be a movement of all liturgical Protestant churches coming together. And I agree. I agree that to be liturgical isn't necessarily tied to Rome or Constantinople, as much flack as I may get from either see. But I concur that being liturgical isn't necessarily a Catholic or Orthodox experience. I mean, it's not like we have a monopoly on it. To have the liturgy is to profess the working faith of the people in God, carrying on in the footsteps of the first Christians who gathered in those small houses to celebrate all those years ago.